You prayed, you believed, you even held on to hope, but nothing changed. And after a while, you start asking questions. Did God hear me? Did I do something wrong? Why does it feel like nothing is happening? Because unanswered prayers don't just test your patience, they test your faith. Let's be honest. This is one of the hardest parts of faith, believing without seeing results. We're often told something simple, pray and God will answer. But in reality, it doesn't always feel that way. Sometimes the answer comes quickly, but other times it feels delayed, unclear, or completely silent. And that's where frustration begins. Because you didn't just pray once, you prayed again and again and still nothing. So what's really going on? The Bible doesn't ignore this. In fact, some of the strongest people in the Bible face the same thing. David cried out, "How long, Lord?" Not once, but multiple times. Job asked questions and received no immediate answers. Even Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane prayed for the suffering to pass, and yet he still went to the cross. So here's something important. Unanswered prayer does not mean unheard prayer. Just because you don't see a response doesn't mean God didn't hear you. But here's where it gets deeper. Sometimes the answer is not what you expected because we often pray with a specific outcome in mind. We want a situation to change, a door to open, a problem to disappear. But what if God is not just focused on the outcome? What if he's focused on you? Because sometimes before something changes around you, something has to change within you. And that part takes time. This is where many people struggle. Waiting feels like nothing is happening. But waiting is not empty. Think about a seed. It doesn't grow instantly. It grows underground where you can't see it. And just because you don't see it doesn't mean nothing is happening. Now apply that to your life. What if this season is not about delay, but about development? What if you're being prepared for something you're not ready for yet? And yes, that's uncomfortable because we want answers now. But here's something that changes everything. Not every answer is yes. Sometimes the answer is not yet, and sometimes the answer is no. That's hard to accept because we don't always understand why. But this is where trust comes in. Trust is not proven when everything makes sense. It's revealed when it doesn't. Sometimes unanswered prayers reveal something deeper. They show what we're holding on to, control, expectations, fear of uncertainty. Because when things don't go our way, we're forced to face a deeper question. Can we still trust God without knowing the outcome? That's not easy, but that's real faith. And here's something else. Sometimes the answer is not visible because it's happening internally. Your patience is growing. Your perspective is shifting. Your strength is being built. But because it's not external, you don't notice it immediately, and yet it matters just as much. So if you're in a season where your prayers feel unanswered, this is not the end of your story. It's not rejection, it's not absence, and it's not that you've been forgotten. It might just be that something is still unfolding, something you can't fully see yet. So instead of asking, why hasn't this happened? Maybe ask, what is this season teaching me? Because sometimes the answer you're waiting for is not something you receive. It's something you become. So keep praying, keep trusting, keep showing up, even when it feels quiet, even when it feels uncertain, because silence does not mean nothing is happening. If this spoke to you, comment amen and follow for more Bible wisdom that helps you understand what's happening, even when it's not obvious.